What is up, Thralls of Metal? Jammin Jon here, bringing you my top 10 out of 40. My top 10 albums of the year. These are albums that I've just jammed on pretty much a repeat since the start of the year. Albeit there's a couple late entries just because they were released later, but it doesn't matter because they were whoop-ass albums. I'm just gonna dive right into it. Coming in at number 10, Cannibal Corpse with Violence Unimagined. Eric Rutan, of course, is in the band now, and such a great addition. Every track on this record just kills it. Inhumane Harvest, Surround, Kill, Devour, Follow the Blood, Bound and Burned, Slowly Sawn, just riffs upon riffs upon riffs in classic Cannibal Corpse fashion, and everything on this record sounds heavier than everything else. And I've jammed this record pretty much non-stop. They did such a good job. I can't wait to see this live. It's Cannibal Corpse. What else do you want me to say? It's Cannibal Corpse. Whoops ass. Coming in at number 9, Yautja with The Lurch. This band is so nuts. There's so much going on in these songs. The title track, A Killing Joke, is awesome. All over the map. Polyrhythms, chunky riffs, hooks. The drum work is insane. I really wish I could have seen these guys. They played in Detroit a couple weeks ago, and I couldn't get the night off work. This is like 10 pounds of crazy in an 8-pound bag. If you haven't heard Yautja, check out Yautja. You're missing out. Number 8, Carcass, Torn Arteries. This record is insane. Dance of Ixtab, Under the Scalpel Blade, Kelly's Meat Emporium. I can't wait to also see this live. This is going to be insane. I haven't seen Carcass in a long time. There's so many hooks in this album, and there's so many riffs that get stuck in my head nonstop. It's just a hell of a listen. I mean, it's Carcass. Much like Cannibal Corpse, what do you want me to say? It's Carcass. This album whoops ass. Number 7, this was new for me this year, Enforced with Kill Grid. First of all, we got to see these guys live again a couple weeks ago, hang out with them, talk to them. I had a really good time. For those of you that don't know, this is killer thrash, crossover thrash. It has some death metal elements, but these guys know how to write the riffs. These guys bring the thunder. The whole CD whoops ass. The title track, Kill Grid, UXO, Beneath Me, Malignance. I love this album. I've listened to this album nonstop. Again, these are all killer guys. It was great to hang out and meet you guys, and congrats on releasing an awesome album. Enforced. Love it. Number 6, Hate with the album Rugia. Rugia? I'm gonna call it Rugia. I just never listened to Hate all the way through, and I can't believe I've let this slide for all these years. The drum work on this album is absolutely insane. This is full of blasts and chugs, and again, also hooks in this. Exiles of Pantheon, Awakening the Gods Within, Son of Extinction. I love this album. I love the drum work on this album. I love how heavy this is. I love how brutal this is. Can't say enough good things about the new Hate. That is why it is my number 6. Number 5, The Amenta with Revelator. I love the vocals on this record. Kane just brings the thunder. He just sounds tortured. It sounds absolutely terrifying and tortured and bleak, and there's not a moment of hope on this record. Twine Towers, I think, is one of my favorite tracks off of this album. Parasite Lost, and Apocalypsis, the opening track. But Twine Towers, watch the video for that. I know we're going to talk to Kane soon here. I am very curious to know what maggots taste like, because he's eaten a lot of them. But yeah, as far as like black metal is concerned, this record is so wonderful. I've jammed this pretty much non-stop this entire year. I always go back to this record because I love the vast, empty feeling of this album. I need to listen to more music like this. I love this record. Came in at number 5. Absolutely whoops ass. Number 4, Fractal Generator with the album Macrocosmos. This reminds me of when The Faceless was good. So Planetary Duality, Autotheism, techie. Again, I love the off chords. Heavy, blasty, brutal drum work. Again, very, very kind of spacey as it carries that spacey theme. The opening track, of course, the title track, Macrocosmos. The song Contagion. The song Chaosphere. not to be confused with Meshuggah's Chaos Sphere. Fractal Generator is just a killer listen. I would definitely recommend this album, hands down. This whole album is gross, and I love it. Number 3, Mastodon with Hushed and Grim. It seems to be a lot of mixed bag as far as even Mastodon fans, as far as this record is concerned. I didn't have the chance to review it, but I definitely give it 5 stars. First of all, I love Mastodon. I've loved Mastodon since the very beginning. Overall, this record has a little bit of a darker feel to it. Like, I think this would have followed great after Crack the Sky as far as what they were going for. The melodies in this record, the fact that it's darker overall. It's good to see Bronze singing more. I love Bronze vocals. Again, the fact that he's playing crazy drums while singing is just mind-blowing to me. The song More Than I Can Chew, The Beast, Skeleton of Splendor, the melodies in here, and the overall just feel of this record. It's soothing yet dark and beautiful, and I love Mastodon. Number 3. Number 2, Frozen Soul with Crypt of Ice. You like Bolt Thrower? These are Ice Thrower. Yeah, it definitely sounds like it was written in an igloo. With a bunch of people freezing to death. I love every track on this record. I cannot say enough good things about this. Just heavier than shit. You know, like climbing uphill in a pit of molasses and just getting stomped to death by the abominable snowman. We just saw these guys not too long ago. They put on an excellent live show. This record whoops ass to no end. I adore this album through and through. First album that we reviewed in the new year, and it just stuck with me. Just heavier than shit. Frozen Soul is an awesome band. That brings me down to number 1. I guess there's no real denying the fact that I love this band, and if simp is a thing, I follow these guys religiously. They are, to me, everything that music should be. The musicianship is amazing. I will never get tired of this band. Between the Buried and Me with Colors 2 is my number 1. I remember, talking about this album when we figured out that they were going to call it Colors 2. And I thought, man, there's no way that you're going to beat out Colors, because Colors to me is just a monumental release as far as records are concerned. I still jam Colors all the time. It was just such a beautiful masterpiece. And this record is no slouch. I've probably jammed this album 150 times since it's come out. If you guys don't know, I'm a giant fan of Blake Richardson's drum work. I think that's how a drum kit should be played, especially on a prog record. These guys just continue to mull over the competition. Amazing songwriting. I don't understand how they can put together masterpieces all the time, and this record just whoops ass. Tommy's vocals on this, I think, are the best they've ever been. Of course, the rhythm section, Blake and Dan write so well together, and then Dusty and Paul and their guitar work, everything just sounds beautiful and very well pieced together, and just a flawless release. I can't state enough about how much I love Between the Buried and Me, and this is such a good record. And I knew that if they were gonna try to do another Colors and do some songs some justice, it would be Between the Buried and Me. This was my number 1. There was pretty much no doubt in my mind when I heard this album that I was gonna listen to it non-stop. Between the Buried and Me, Colors 2, killer. Well, I did it. Top 40 albums, and of course, I'm pissed off at myself. I left a couple things off the list. I'm just going to give honorable mentions. The latest Fear Factory, the latest Genghis Tron, Creeping Death, we just saw them live, and that record whoops ass. I'm thankful for this past year in metal. I have learned a lot. I have listened to a lot. I've been able to broaden my horizons. I'm getting into things I never thought I would get into. It's been just such a killer fucking year for death metal. For metal in general. It's nice to see this sound being put back on the map and all over the world, and I wish I could have said more, but that's where we're at. If you guys like what you saw, and really thank you to all of our fans and all of our followers. You guys have made this certainly a monumental year for Thralls. If you don't know, the 18th of December was not only Necrotic Nick's birthday, but it was the 3-year anniversary of the channel. And some of you have been there from the very beginning. Jordan Bixler, I know you're out there, buddy. I'm going to give you a shout out just because you were there from the rip. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and following and continuing to watch and commenting and everybody just reaching out. It gets overwhelming at times, to be honest, but I'm so very thankful for it. If you guys like what you saw, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, the little notification bell, so you can be notified of when we do videos like this, which is pretty much every single day. We do non-stop reviews and live things, and we've got some killer interviews coming for the year. Also, if you're in an unsigned band or just stuck in the underground and you can't get out, I know I've mentioned in the past What's John Jammin'. I'm bringing that back. I'm trying to compile again a list of bands here, and I only have 3 or 4 on the roster, and I would really like to get this moving. So if you could send me an email at jamminjon666@gmail.com, that would be pretty fucking sweet. We also have our Patreon. There will be a link below there where you can push and subscribe. I know we have some really cool content that's coming for Patreon. And again, we also have shirts available. If you would like a shirt, please hit us up at thrallsofmetal@gmail.com. Put shirts in the subject and we will get a shirt out to you. I know we have a bunch of killer stuff coming for 2022. With that, I will bid you guys a fond adieu. It's been a pleasure. Take care.